Erich Koch severely injured in the Kiev bombing. Trouble brewing in Eastern Europe. We are doing a little bit of researchy research. Yeah, sure, go for that. You remember what you were doing. I think we've done all the arts industrial. There you go. Right in front of my face. We're not at 65 yet, so all this stuff is fine. So let's maybe just keep going through our infantry, weapons, and support companies and all that stuff. Again, it doesn't really matter. We can't build any of it as England at the moment. Anyway. Okay, can we get one more guns or improve relations? Must improve relations. I feel like we spend it and then we lose it straight away. I'm tempted just to hold on to it till we get a bit more of a stockpile and then maybe start looking at trying to improve some relations. 100 guns from Canada, thank you very much. To sharpen the sickle. The revolutionary movement does not possess the elite force of sterling commandos, nor do we have a truly large following of armed forces like HMMLR, loyal to the memory of the monarchy. What we do possess, however, is perhaps the greatest militia network in England, formed around the trade unions and factory workers. When the time comes, the English proletariat will rise as one, and the fascists will pay their price in blood. For now, though, we must organise these militias. Give them the goals and equipment so as to effect change on a more strategic level. Docks must be secured, arms factories for the enemy sabotaged, and their lines of communication cut if at all possible. For now, as we sit back and sharpen the sickle of revolution, we wait only for the hammer to fall upon its anvil. So anyway, we're still fermenting such communist fervour, considering there isn't really a strong communist country anywhere in the kingdom, in the world at the minute. I mean, you've got a few kind of communist nations starting to bubble to the surface, but all pretty weak and fragmented at the moment. Still in December, I have to wait for January for the next batch. Maybe we'll save up. That's quite a lot to try and get that 80. Not sure. Omar Ali Salafudin III becomes the Sultan of Siona. Don't even know where that is. Bulgaria sides with Italy. Okay. But they could be gearing up for a war with Turkey by the looks of it. Let's see if we do this small boost. Can we then immediately go into the small weapon shipment? And pro-English, Coalition of Independence was swept into power. So Plaid Cymru, which is the kind of Welsh Independence Party, are out. So that's good. Maybe they'll join us voluntarily if we win our freedom. Oh, hang on, we're into January. I need to do all these things again. Generally just offset the government changes. See if we can get positive. That's good, that's good, let's go. Flat boost, I think. Our stability is terrible though, so we're going to have to work on that. Oxfordshire is massively high, but we're not working that. London, we do need to keep working on stability. Sussex, have a boost. And Gloucestershire, have a boost. And you've actually gone blue. Maybe you need to start working your stability there. Okay. That's all going well. And we can't do anything down here. Fine. Lord help us, the Reds have rifles. As our government struggles to preserve order amid slackening aid from Germany, the terrorists have grown increasingly bold in their strikes against us. On the outskirts of Brentwood, an army left lightly defended due to increasing violence in the capital was subject to a brutal assault by communist forces. In the dark hours of night, multiple men in red berets shoot a few members posted for security with their revolvers, then proceeded to ransack the army's interior. As dawn broke and the Reds receded into their dank holes, our army was left to survey the damage. As we feared, dozens of assault rifles, rocket launchers and bulletproof vests were taken, while what couldn't be taken was left heavily damaged by what appeared to be a cluster of pipe bombs. A crude hammer and sickle was spray painted on the armory's rear, leaving us knowing only the vile creed of these persons. One member of security detail is now in questioning, stating that he saw the attack occurring from distance and gone to the hills for bodily needs. There are no answers here, only a clear need to put out these fires and get our house in order. Free guns. Right, let's try this. Operation Broken Telephone. Generals Michael Moore-Cray and John Frederick Boyce-Combe were two of the main fascist commanders in the south of England. Cray personally helped slaughter our comrades on Cable Street, and Combe should have known better than to side with the fascists, even if he did negotiate his release from Italy. Alexander has given the order, both are to be limited. The Red Birch's friends in intelligence, Philby, has information might be of use. They tend to work together and occasionally congregate with several friends in a small country manor near Oxford to discuss the situation. As it so happens, we've liberated a stock of diamondite and the manor has a basement. If we get lucky, they won't leave the building alive. Blowing people up again. So be it. Which is the cost of, I don't know, freedom, democracy, name it what you will. The government's probably portraying it as an attack on stability. We're growing it quite a lot. Half a per day, it's not too bad. Probably going to have to do this tour one, I think. Although we've got, after this we can go down this one. So we'll get a large boost, which might be able to kind of leverage a little bit more. We shall see. We are into February, so we can do our next set of missions, and we're also going to start on this one. The Americans are perhaps the only overseas ally we possess who can offer us more than cast-offs and hand-me-downs in terms of material support. More importantly, though, they're vital to our long-term plans after England is liberated. Without American backing and membership within the OFN, England will be invaded whenever the Germans feel like it. To that end, strengthening our relationship with Washington is a vital part of our operations, including, if need be, affirming certain basing rights following the war. For now, though, all we need is the assurance that aid will come. Not openly, of course, lest the Germans involve themselves in turn when we launch our uprising. So hopefully, once this gives us a big boost, we can then spend our points to kind of cement that, get some maybe large shipments, or maybe take the small boost as well. Okay. Let's go stability. Let's go... Yeah, I think we might end up being around stability. No, offset the government. Just keep pushing that. I feel like they're pushing them down as fast as we're pushing them up, to be perfectly honest. This is going the right direction, so maybe we'll try and work on a bit of stability now. They're not far off flipping blue, these three. Keep working on the London support, it'll be a few more months. Sure, we'll push that up to 90. For reasons. Yeah. Do the speakers. Oh man. Interesting. Don't see much have changed. Must have just been a border war. Oh no, down here. Italy won. Okay. The Il Government of the Levant has halted the assault from Turkey in a border skirmish. Alright. Well played, Italy. May have peaked too soon with that spending of political power, actually. That may have been a mistake. What decision can we take? Oh, here we go. Operation Broken Telephone. Government loses guns and we get guns. Fine. Maybe not as impactful as I was hoping for, but it'll have to do. Next one. A couple more weeks before we get to do something else. And we're doing okay. We've only really got these two and you have a 70% to switch it. Wars Residenti done. Before dominate Lancaster. Lancashire even. Lancashire is perhaps the third most populous area in England, containing Manchester and several populous towns beside. As an industrial region, control of Lancashire will grant HMMLR a solid base from which to liberate the southern regions of England. For if we have control of the north, then the south shall follow. The process of doing so may be difficult, but is worth the cost. We have contacts in the councils and trade unions, and the police are already mostly on our side. Do not fear the collaborationist interference is there. We'll have to ensure that any troublesome elements are dealt with as soon as a call of liberation sounds. Not killed, but detained for the duration. Nice. So maybe that's an area we definitely want to make sure is in our control. So I would like... We're still on low, despite that that focus saying it was going to give us a large boost. Doesn't feel particularly large. Alright, we'll take the small shipment then. Alright, next round here. So where is... Yeah, Lancashire's here. It's good. Positive. Needs stability. You've got pretty good stability. Let's give you a positive creep. Give you a positive creep as well. Here, I just want more support. Support all the things. Well, let's balance you out. Yeah, he's not too bad. Support and it's growing. Albeit pretty slowly. Have to go blue. Billy's at 90% there. We've lost it, so we might as well keep doing that. Oh, well, they pushed that down. We need to get up to 75 here. Take a while. Wish I'd realised that. I could have concentrated on it earlier. We're going to run out of focuses to do shortly if we can't get London up. Yeah, because it requires all of the following to have been done. Okay. We can focus on that. It's like 3 months away if we don't get any pushes down the way. Lufthansa. Ooh, okay. 302. 10 Germans, 32 English, and 20 residents of the Reich Commissariat Norwegen boarded the Ju 152 crewed by 7 Germans at London's Heathrow Airport, each their own purpose for taking the flight to Bergen. Vacation, like Colonel Nicolas Roche and the Hudson family. Returning from business trip, like Trothheim radiologist Harold Arbach. They had reason to fly to the Reich Commissariat Norwegen, but some had different purpose than any of the other passengers. A few minutes after England had disappeared behind them and the flight was over North Sea, a woman got out of her seat at the back of the aircraft and walked to the front. When a stewardess asked if she needed some sort of assistance, the woman pulled out a pistol, put it to the stewardess's head. A man jumped up and brandished a pistol as well, yelling, "Don't move, hands on your head, or she gets it." He then rushed forth, opened the door, waving the gun in the faces of German pilots. In a matter of moments, they had taken control of the plane. Many of the passengers were horrified. Colonel Roche, worried about what would happen if the hijackers found out about his Luftwaffe service, tried to eat his identification card subtly, but was forced to shove the wadded up ball inside of a can of Fanta. Arbach was concerned that it would be a hostage situation and was not optimistic that whoever handled the rescue would do so satisfactorily. Hudson family were worried the hijackers would crash the aircraft somewhere. For several hours, the passengers waited in fear, unknowing of the plans the hijackers had made. Some proposals to rush the terrorists were discussed independently, but they were discarded. Seems like all they could do was wait and guess what would happen. Nobody knew where they headed exactly, but someone overheard what the man told the cockpit. Go northwest and don't stop. Go. North England, Scotland maybe? Madagascar declared war on Madagascar, so it's a civil war. There we go. I think ends up being, yeah, like 4 ways. Yeah, there you go. You've got the Reich Commissariat, authoritarian Democrats, 2 of them, and some National Socialists. Robin Gill, an air traffic controller in Newcastle, noticed one of the dots on his screen had begun to move from its original direction quite suddenly. One moment it had been following a straight line to the east, the next it seemed to be headed northwest. This caught his attention, and he immediately raised questions to the supervisor. He looked it up and got the name of the flight, Lufthansa 302, a Ju 152, or Junkers presumably, 152 flying from London to Bergen. Newcastle tried contacting Lufthansa 302 and asked them what they were doing. Lufthansa 302 did not respond. They tried raising the plane several more times on different frequencies, but civil airlines in the pact frequently use nothing. Lufthansa 302 either couldn't or outright refused to respond. The flight was still headed towards the northwest. A sudden change in direction and refusal to communicate led the flight control to one conclusion. Newcastle reported to London they believed Lufthansa 302 had been hijacked, assailants unknown. London was shocked, and ordered all outgoing flights temporarily halted while they tried to get a handle on how bad the situation was. Berlin was informed within the hour, and alarms went off as they tried to scramble fighters to intercept the aircraft. Lufthansa was horrified and gave a list of the people who'd bought tickets, English, Germans and Norwegians. Oslo was informed that some of their citizens were involved in potential hijacking after that. They scrambled to find out where the plane was headed, trying to utilise the Luftwaffe to make contact. The Pact tried getting all of our diplomatic envoys and intelligence assets in Scotland and the OFN to find out what was going on. All the intelligence they had on the HMMLR was poured over to find a possible connection, some hint of the aircraft's plans. They still had no idea. All they could do was watch Lufthansa's 302's dot eventually fly off the edge of Newcastle radar, still moving to the northwest. Maybe up to Iceland, since that's controlled by the US. Oh, hang on, we're in March, we should be clicking buttons. Click the buttons. This place is looking good. Oh, we've already clicked the buttons. I'm getting ahead of myself. So here we've got a stock market crash. Dun. Oh, out for the crash. Economic wars. It's obviously echoing the Black Monday. Oh. Hold on. Right, guns in good, focus down good, we'll look at that in a moment. After a few hours in the air and no explanation, the passengers of Lufthansa 302 sighted land. Seatbelt light came on, the aircraft came in for landing. Nobody knew where they were exactly, but some passengers could tell they were somewhere in the Scottish Highlands. One insisted the city they passed over was Aberdeen. When it landed, Lufthansa 302 was directed to stop on the tarmac outside the main terminal, where police officers were waiting for it. Many passengers worried they would be in a lengthy hostage situation that would end with a deadly police storming. Fears were alleviated when hijackers surrendered soon after landing, giving themselves and the daughter of the woman over to the Scottish police. Soon after, a group of police and diplomatic officials boarded the plane, informed the passengers the hostage situation was over, and the hijackers merely intended to use the plane as a method of entry into Scotland. That seems like a hard way of doing things. However, if any passengers wished to remain in Scotland, they were welcome to do so. The message was repeated in German and Norwegian for the other passengers. Immediately, a young Norwegian stood up and made it clear their intention to defect. This provoked the ire of Colonel Roche, who made a mental note to report the couple to his superiors as soon as he got off the plane. This action had a different effect on the Hudson family. We discussed in hushed whispers the benefits and disadvantages of getting off the plane. Eventually they decided to do what they thought would be best for their children and got off the plane as well. Many people on the flight did not jump at the opportunity, however. Harald Arbach was one of them, concerned about such a massive disruption to his life. Everyone he knew was on the other side of the curtain, and so was everything he owned. And yet, there would never be an opportunity like this, to get out from the German jackboot, to start his life anew in a free country. Before the last Scottish official left the plane, Harold got out of his seat. Freedom is worth a risk taking. Oh. Oh. Focus. Focus. We can now do Operation Stock. The deficit of munitions is a consistent problem for our organisation. Smuggling can only mitigate the problem, and heavy caliber weapons are scarce even amongst our better equipped units. Operation Stock aims to solve this problem for us. Several depots near Carlisle are full of weapons, including numerous grenades and even some outdated tanks the Germans never got around to looting. However, as the facilities are guarded, we shall need at least 6 hours to evacuate the more valuable equipment, and that means silencing the area without regional collaboration as forces getting wind. Not impossible, especially with the German garrison being far away. We will, however, need just a bit of luck, and quite possibly some silencers. Mystery of Lufthansa 302. The first news that the Pact received related to Lufthansa 302 since it dropped off the Newcastle radar was a news report in Scotland. A Junkers 152 had landed in Aberdeen, it said, and the hijackers had given themselves up to the Scottish authorities. Germany immediately contacted Scotland through diplomatic channels, demanding that the hijackers be deported to the Pact, and that the passengers and crew be allowed to return home as well. A few hours later, Scotland responded with a flat no to any extradition and said the aircraft had been allowed to continue to Bergen. When the aircraft arrived in Bergen that night and the passengers were taken by the Gestapo and asked to relay everything they saw or heard, there wasn't much to go on. A man, a woman pulled guns out of the North Sea and demanded the aircraft turn and go to Scotland. They didn't declare any specific affiliation with any group or make any statements in support of an ideology. Regrettably, several English and Norwegian citizens had agreed to stay behind in Scotland along with them. Then came the digging through all the records. The hijackers were English citizens suspected of attempting to purchase transport through the Scottish border and were being looked at when the hijacking occurred. Any in the pact, especially on the security side, weren't satisfied. There had to be a resistance component to this, they thought. They interrogated and detained close relations of the hijackers and defectors, but just as shocked as everyone else. The English resistance didn't seem to step up their activity after the attack, and no other copycat hijackings occurred at the same time. As much as some didn't like it, the taking of Lufthansa 302 appeared to be the result of a desperate pair of disaffected English, and not part of a wider terrorist plot against the Reich. That can't be right, can it? There's no plot, honest. Right, we done March, we're done March. It's tipping a little bit blue, we're getting there. As long as you don't care what you do with the support in London, just don't crash stability, I need that. Let's see what they do. Okay, support, I'm okay with that. I need stability. Okay, I need to do it twice. Oh, 3 more, 75. Ugh. That's going to take a while. This place is looking rosy. Push that up a little bit. See if we can push that to a steady 1. It's flat but at 80, but no, let's see if we can keep the positive tick. Here, let's push it up by chunks. And get back to a more stable arrangement. What do we want? Stability is low, and we'll give it a little bit of stability. Should turn it blue, and this should turn this blue. Okay. Good. We done everywhere? Probably not here. I really don't know what to do with this place. I mean that, I suppose, but it's almost worthwhile. Worthless. Good. You guys don't like us. I don't know if there's much I can do with that. We've still got a reasonable supply of guns though, so that's not too bad. Operation stock, and I think one focus after that, and we're going to be reliant on getting stability up in London. An order to hand over. Traitors purged the army of most lads who can think for themselves. Well, that's what Sterling says when he mocks their corpses. The thing about rebelling is that, without some guns to shoot the traitors with, the whole thing could be over rather quickly. Even the Reds can't ship in enough firearms to equip us all, which is where our lot come in. Protocol doesn't change that much from year to year in the army. It means that when a very cross-looking colonel turns up at the depot with a convoy of trucks asking why the heck they aren't ready to be packed already, the poor fools on duty jump to it quick, helped along by a few of our own on the inside, of course. I'm told the haul was over 20,000 semi-automatic rifles alone. Cool. And we just gotta hope and pray. Oh yeah, we will definitely do that. That, and keep going stability in London. Some research, sure, we'll just keep going with the support tech. Maybe not the military police, since they ain't our friends. How long for this? No, not long for Operation Stocks completed. There it goes. Anti-guns for us, which is good. We can... Okay, we're up to... I don't know, it's just... It seems to jump around an awful lot. Oh, first of the Madagascars are out. Tempted to see if we can't get a better gun shipment in. Okay, what are you going to do? Hopefully it's not stability. Do anything else you like. And now it's back to moderate. Over, rifle's done. Something here. Ah, okay. Italian dude in charge of Italian territories in the Gulf. Fine. Oh, we can. We just can't we can't take the focus. We just can't do the mission yet. Alright, that's nowhere near as bad as I thought. It would be easy if we told ourselves that traitors were all rotten from the start, but that isn't so, no matter what some of the Reds think. The sad fact is most of the lads we fight don't know any better, which is why it's all the more important that we get the ones who know what an occupation of England would mean and went ahead anyway. Gerald Templar thought with distinction for Britain in the First World War with Germany. Shame he couldn't have kept his spy in him a second. He was amongst those who signed the treaty. No matter how many hints have been dropped his way, he's never shown an interest in the cause. It's a big risk, but we know his driver, and if we can smuggle a present into his car, we just might strike a blow for all the world to see. Alright. Alright, we'll jump into May and do some more clicky clicks. Keep our rebellion bubbling away. It's all looking nice and blue. Still growth, so let's just keep working on the stability. Green, so some stability here. And likewise, I'm feeling pretty good around my northern section. This place not so much. Let's see if we can't get back to having a little bit of inertia. This place is good, but stability is terrible. Push that up. Push that up as well. London. Excellent, they haven't done stability. Okay. 2 more clicks, hopefully. And we can get that one. Not that we obviously worked out we don't need to do it, but hopefully it's beneficial. A couple more. Oh, I didn't even check. I mean, I should really check these. 3 more operations in Sussex, East Anglia, and Lancashire. How are we looking in those places? Sussex, not too far off it. I think it was 60 we needed. East Anglia, a bit off, and Lancashire. Good. Okay. We're working where we need to. I would quite like to get this 30 if we can afford it. Man, UK's debt just growing and growing. Just like in real life. Looks like we're down to our final 2 in Madagascar. Right, so we can get a few more of these operations. Start with this one because I think we can actually do it. Operation Lookup. Fascists have some advantage over HMLR in terms of their air capacity. We rely entirely on what few pilots are sympathetic to revolutionary cause within the RAF, whilst they have the bulk of the Air Force under lock and key. On top of that, we've been tasked by Auchinleck to remove one of the more competent fascist generals, Michael Carver, from the table. An opportunity has arisen to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The fascist general is set to give a speech following inspection of several planes donated by the Reich. New planes with a fearsome capacity for destruction. A revolution will well serve to rid them, and a few sabotaged engines and a kill team hiding amongst the aircrews would take care of the fascist and aircraft alike. Really good. We'd have now, yeah, in our list. Murderer dude. I was going to have a quick look at medic. We're down to. We've got the Hitnagut movement. Oh. Up against the Militarstat Madagascar. So like a military coup-esque thing against these chaps. All fighting for a tiny island. Oh, so are we. A less tiny island, but still an island. Research. Let's get our infantry guns up to spec. Although, don't know if this is actually shared with the government forces. We'll be creating a rod for them back. Right, third, we can no longer get that. Grrr. You frustrate me so much sometimes. Some more Russian unification wars on the go. And we can now click more buttons. You are just looking brilliant. Let's just keep pumping that support up. You need a little bit of loving. You could totally do with touch stability. Where was other places? I can't remember. You're Lancashire, that's fine. The other one was East Anglia and Sussex. So East Anglia needs to be 60 and Sussex is 75. Fine and fine, we'll look at that. So East Anglia is over here. Let's go for stability and Sussex. Oh, miles away. Alright. We shall keep working on it. Right, London's up to 70 now, so they're not miles off either. Oh, where haven't we done? Here. Just get them bump up. Can't flip some of these places. Variable stability, I don't know if it really matters. I think that's not quite everywhere. We'll do that. I don't know much if to be honest, if I got much of a key strategy at this point. I seem to be kind of changing every time, but oh, things are turning blue. I'll take that. I'll take that for now. Okay. Operation Lookup. It should be good to go, so we'll give that a bosh. Operation Inspection. Montague Stopford. He even sounds right for a blooming traitor. Well, the problem with killing the bugger is he's a bit paranoid. What kind of man swaps hotels at last minute just because there was a storm? We wasted 3 perfectly good grenades on that bed. Top off the problem, he's well aware of the commando's weakness. He's just about the only traitor who's given us a bloody nose. The boss wants him gone, and Sterling has been the one set to do it. Seems the unfortunate fellow set to inspect some new recruits to the traitor cause. It's a damn shame if one of them to somehow have a misfire. So, right, so we should have look up, good to go. Blow up some planes. See, nice, it's gone up again. Up and down. Thailand's Prime Minister has died. Got some guns, which is good. Some border movements in Russia, but no strong contenders just yet. Okay. Still seeing a DEFCON 4, which is good. The world's not planning on ending anytime soon. Let's just grab some more guns while we can. A new Prime Minister in Japan. And a new Prime Minister in Thailand. Good luck to you guys. Done there. There we go. Let's grab one more. Operation Loud and Clear. Monty was once our greatest champion, now he's a symbol of a collaborationist regime second to none. He signed the treaty with the Germans following the fall of London and was a man who ordered Auchinleck to lay down his arms personally. It was a little bit harsh blaming the generals. You've lost a war, you've lost a war. Anyway, his death is not something we can be argued against. It must happen, it must be done swiftly. The man might be old, but he has a fearsome mind for tactics. Monty intends to take a brief trip to Cornwall to reconnoite the German garrison there. It's up to HMMLR to ensure he never reaches that destination. As a final note, Auchinleck has requested that he not suffer unduly. Well, we'll see what we can do. So to take some more decisions. This place is looking great. Stability up. Our guns keep flowing through it. 7 West Midlands, we just want to push the support. East Anglia needs stability. And Sussex needs stability. We're so far off Sussex. Oh, hang on. 75, we can now push that button. I will. Go and do. Now do our London mission. Excellent. Why not? Must be. Oh, you kidding me? It's gonna be like 80. How are you telling me above 75? I find this disappointing. Yes. That's pretty high. Jolly good. East Anglia must be 60 above, so it's 65 and 80 we need to get to. More Rushkies fighting each other. Yeah, let's keep the guns flowing. Okay. Ah, Kamaruvu's been defeated. Better luck next time, Kamaruvu. Maruvu even. Okay. Well, we are. Operation Loud and Clear is done. Some music and we are steadily progressing towards the uprising. But all that is going to have to wait until next time because that is the end of today's stream. So I hope you have been enjoying this first look at TNO. Like I say, it's a really interesting and in-depth overhaul mod, and yeah, it really leans heavily on the storytelling aspect, which is a bit different, but I do enjoy it. I will be continuing this next Monday in the usual slot. I'll also be chopping this up, throwing it out on YouTube. If you have enjoyed it, please can follow, subscribe, do all the usual stuff so you know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Night, everyone.